When I slid into the driver's seat, my knees hit the steering wheel. I'd been driving this car for 4 years. The memory system only held 2 profiles. 1 was mine. 2 was Sarah's. I pressed button 1. The seat moved back. The backrest straightened a little. That was my position. I turned off the engine and got out. That night when Sarah came home, I asked if she'd adjusted the seat. Maybe I bumped it by accident, she said, eyes on her phone. 3 days later I drove her to yoga. She got in and pressed 2. The seat moved forward, but it was about 2 inches lower than usual. Sarah's 5'7". At that height she'd have to tilt her head up to drive. Did you lower the seat? I asked. No, she said, buckling her seatbelt. Hurry up, I'm going to be late. Late that night I went downstairs and sat in the car. The center screen was still glowing. I opened driver preferences. Most recent driver, user 3. User 3 settings, seat at the lowest height, backrest heavily reclined, steering wheel pulled all the way in. There were 3 new playlists in the media history: heavy metal, indie rock. Sarah and I only listened to country and jazz. Bluetooth devices list. Besides our phones, there was one called JR, labeled frequently used. I took screenshots. The next day Sarah said she was going to the west side to buy potting soil. She drove off. 4 hours later she came back, hair slightly damp, like she'd showered. I walked into the garage. The car was still warm. I opened driver preferences. User 3, active from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Trip history showed the navigation destination, Oak Bay Motel, 20 minutes from our house, 40 from the garden store. I exported 3 months of car system data. User 3 showed up 17 times. Every time was a day Sarah was running errands alone, when yoga ran long, when she had sleepovers with her best friend, when she worked late. Cached destinations listed 7 addresses, 3 motels, 2 bars, an apartment complex, and a parking lot 2 blocks from my office. I printed everything. That night, while Sarah was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the nightstand. The screen lit up. A notification. J.R. Did she get suspicious? I picked up my phone, took a picture of the notification, then the whole screen. At breakfast the next morning, I slid the folder across the table. Explain, I said. Sarah flipped through a few pages. Her face went pale. This doesn't prove anything. I just lent the car to a coworker. 17 times? His car broke down. And every time he borrowed it, he went to a motel? Sarah stood up. You don't trust me. I unlocked my phone and played an audio clip, an automatic recording exported from the car system when hard braking is triggered. A man laughing. Sarah's voice, breathless, saying, slow down. User 3, I said, likes to brake hard. She froze. Who's J.R.? I asked. Jason? James? Or that new coworker you mentioned, John Rosen? Her lips trembled. We need to talk. No, I said. You need to move out. She tried to hug me. I stepped back. This car keeps full logs, I said. Every seat adjustment, every Bluetooth connection, every navigation route. A court's going to love this. She started crying. I can explain. Explain it to a lawyer, I said. This afternoon. I already made an appointment. The day after she moved in with a friend, I got a text from an unknown number. I'm John Rosen. Sarah and I are just friends. Please don't drag me into this. I replied. The car logs show 9 times you stayed in the vehicle over 40 minutes. Want me to send a copy to your wife? The typing indicator appeared. Stayed there for 3 minutes. Then one message came through. I'm sorry. I never heard from him again. The divorce moved fast, uncontested. Sarah gave up any claim to the assets. After seeing the car data, her lawyer advised her to settle. On the last day, in the parking lot, she stopped me. How can you be so calm? I opened the car door. Because data doesn't lie. I got into the driver's seat. My knees no longer hit the steering wheel. Seats don't act. I tapped delete. User 3's data was permanently erased. Then user 2. As Sarah's profile disappeared, the screen flickered. You thought it was just a seat, I said, starting the engine, but it knows who the regular is. I drove out of the lot. In the rearview mirror, she stood there, getting smaller and smaller. 2 blocks later, I saved a new memory position. The seat moved to a brand new spot. Not too high, not too low, just right. This time there was only one user. Just me.